What's up, people? It's Tuesday. You know what that means. It's time for What the Fuck Tuesday, the relationship advice column that you all wait for every week. I want to start off by saying for the next 10 weeks until DNN starts in June, we're going to have two boom, boom, boom advice columns every week. So come on Tuesday and we'll come on Friday. That pattern will continue through the summer while we do DNN. So, what's up, Lee? Mary Elizabeth. Also, a couple of new names I see here. Bella. Hey. Goddess T. Oh, yeah. I see a lot of folks that I've seen before. Um, Yeah. What was I getting ready to say? I don't know. I'm delirious. Anyway, I'm pretty excited about this. Is going to give us an opportunity to clear out a lot of letters and, get ready for DNN and we go back to 1 day a week. So let's get started. For those of you who are new here, this relationship show deals with we only address letters that have been previously submitted. So if you see it and you think that you can come here and get your question answered today, it's not that kind of show. We do have those, but that's not what the regularly scheduled show is. If you want to submit a letter, you can either go into the show description below or and you'll find the link. It'll say get free advice. Or at the top of the YouTube channel, there's like a little green and white icon that says get advice. Just click that. It takes you to the same form anyway, while my website is still under rehabilitation because I changed hosting companies. And so all my sites are down until I have time to really work on them. So this is what we're doing. So you just go directly to the form. You can still submit your questions. Be brave though, because I don't play. All right. So according to what my cousin typed here, today we have 21 questions plus a bonus question, whatever that means. So let's go. Question number one. This is a female in the 22 to 25 age group from San Jose, California. I told this guy that I don't want a second date, but he keeps asking questions. I gave him an explanation and he wants to know more. I don't feel like I owe him any more kind of explanation. How should I handle this? I'm sorry if this is a weird question to ask. I'm not sure who else to ask, and I know you'll steer me in the right direction. I wish he had just taken no for an answer. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. They don't like to take no for an answer because a lot of guys don't handle rejection very well. And by you not wanting to go on a second date, all his dreams of third date nookie you just went up in smoke. Because traditionally, from what I hear, that's the traditional date when all those good time fun things happen. So by cutting him off at the knees before you even get to a second date, he knows that that ain't gonna happen. And so he's disappointed. So he wants to know why. So, you gave him an explanation. I wish you had told me what you said to him so that I would, not be redundant here. But he wants to know more. Okay, so you're right. You don't owe him any more explanation other than, it's not working. I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like we had that much in common, this kind of thing. So he wants to uh he wants to know more. I'm assuming he's emailing you, texting you, whatever. He wants to know why. Okay, so then this is when you ask this question, because I always ask, do you want the politically correct answer or do you want the truth? See, you give them the option. You give them the option. And then if they say they want the truth, then you crack your knuckles and you go smooth in. And you say your head is big, your breath is funky, your teeth look like a fucking beaver. I don't want nothing to do with you. Your table manners are gross and you misbuilt. You ugly and you probably have a short you know what and can't screw anyway. So why should I waste my time going on a third date with you to get my hopes up just to have them dashed like against rocks? I don't want to go out with you anymore. You suck. You suck ass, as a matter of fact. So that's it. Okay, does that make it clear? Don't call me, lose my number, forget we never met. And then you block him. Okay, that's how you do that. But if he says he wants a politically correct answer, then repeat, and then you say, this is the last time I'm going to tell you that because, you seem to be a person who's got at least average intelligence. I shouldn't have to repeat myself. I don't want to go out with you. Now, why is irrelevant? Okay, so then I hope that works for you. Then you hang up and you still block them. But, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But I always ask, I always ask, I always give them that option because you know, and some of the guys have said, "Oh, that sounds like it's gonna be something that's gonna hurt my feelings." I said it probably will. That's why I always ask people which one, it's going to depend on what your mood is and how tough you are and what the state of your ego. So, do you want the truth or do you want the politically correct, watered down version? And some of them have actually said that they want the watered down version, so then I give it to them. Since I did, offer the option, I follow through. Because if I just want to give them the, jacked up side, then I wouldn't have gave them option. I just would have lit them up right quick. You know, I don't even know what to say, because I don't have that kind of patience. You suck ass, sir. What else do you want from me? You want to tell me every little fine thing that you did wrong, and then at 10 o'clock, you said this, and then at 10:05, you did that, and then and I forgot to add at 7:30 when I first laid eyes on you, you did this, and plus you had a sight, you had a scent of OD ass, and I just wasn't feeling it. So that kind of stuff. Oh, you know what? Because I told this dude, oh my God. Oh, okay. Side story. I went out with this dude. And he told me he hadn't been feeling well a couple of days before, but he didn't tell me what that meant. Evidently, he was having some digestive issues. So while we're on the date, he hops up and he has to, we're getting ready to leave, and so that he has to go, make a stop at the men's room. Dude was in there about 15 minutes, so you know what that means. So he came out and he had this scent was following him. Okay, you know what that means? That means you did not wipe your ass good. That's what that means. And if you go into the bed, you got all that to do, and you've been sick and stuff, it's gonna smell. Why not stop on your way into the stall, grab some paper towels, wet them with a little soap and water, and take them in there with you so that you can wipe up and freshen up after you do that. I was so grossed out. So we never went out again. I'm telling you, my one date stories. I have hundreds of them, hundreds of them. Yeah, it was gross because he walked by me. He stayed and stood next to me, and he had this scent, and I was like, it was terrible. It was terrible. Luckily, we had already finished eating because I would have lost my appetite. But one thing that doesn't have, I have a stomach of steel. So, but yeah, that funk was just a bit much. Question number 2. This is from a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Pensacola, Florida. My generous father in law offered a beautiful diamond ring to my fiance to propose with that he's been holding on to for more than 40 years. He had originally bought it to propose to a woman before my mother in law. Okay, so he bought a ring to propose to some chick that he didn't use the ring because he didn't. I wonder if she turned him down or what happened there. Okay, you don't say. So anyway, that didn't happen. So he kept the ring, and then he wanted to give it to his son, a ring with a curse on it because whatever he was going to do didn't happen. He wanted to give it to you for his son to propose to you. Okay, I just want to make sure I understand. Next paragraph. I confessed to my fiance that I would like to get the wedding band reset before the wedding, and my fiance was super offended. He interpreted it as it wasn't good enough for me, and I was being a spoiled brat. I wanted something personal meant just for me. He thinks it's dumb and petty that I care about a band and we're not even married. I don't want to wear a ring that was meant for someone else, and it would mean the world if it was personal for me. Is it a reasonable request to get picky about the wedding band before the wedding? Absolutely. Absolutely. Not only is this okay, the association with this ring, the father was wrong and the boy was wrong to accept it. He's supposed to say, "No, Dad, I want to pick out my girl's ring and I want it to be special for her. I don't want some ring that you use to get rejected on your proposal. That ring has bad juju associated with it. I don't want that affiliated with my wedding." And looks what's happening. Okay? Because I'm gonna tell you, if this were me, I would have first went to the father-in-law and gave him that shit back and said, "I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't want this ring. I want a ring that's just for me. Then I would have told homeboy, and if you don't think that that's right, then we not getting married. And you can take that ring and shove it up your ass. How about that? Because I don't want, it's starting things off in a real fucked up way. You supposed to be just excited and accepting of some old hand-me-down shit, some shit that didn't even work out. It's got like negative affiliations associated with it. I mean, I believe in all of that kind of stuff where, things get attached to objects and stuff. That's why, certain things use products and stuff. If somebody was kind of weird, had mental illness, it was all kind of seeing things and all kind of weird stuff. I don't want nothing that was theirs. I don't want anything that is associated with them. Because it's like, that's just too much. I don't know if he's that cheap. I'm thinking he doesn't understand the importance of the emotional connection that a first time bride has to her wedding dress and to her wedding ring. Most guys, I don't think, some do, some get it, but most don't really understand it. Her dress, he has to either be chosen for her or made for her, or it has to have some super sentimental value, like it came from her grandmother or some favorite aunt or her mother wore something that is meaningful to her. A ring that your daddy got for some bitch that he didn't even marry is not meaningful. It's not meaningful to nobody but him as he looks at it and thinks about the woman that got away. Nobody in the family is this ring interesting to or valuable to except for that raggedy daddy who should have known better, should have took the ring back. So that's what I'm going to tell you. You sit down with dude and say, my dress is special to me, and my ring is special to me, and my husband is special to me. All three of those things are special to me. This ring is not special to me. This ring is not even special to you. It's a hand-me-down ring from some rejected proposal. I don't want that affiliation with my wedding. As you see, it's already causing a problem in that you're going to be the next one whose proposal about to be rejected and who's not going to walk down the aisle. You keep pushing this shit and see what happens. You're going to be right over there with your daddy trying to figure out how to get wife the second choice because I'm your first and I'm about to leave your ass. We're not having this. So there comes a time where you have to put your foot down and let a man know what's not going to, no, this ain't going to go down like that. You're going to either give me what I want and agree because this is something I'm going to be wearing for the rest of my life, or you can stick it up your ass. Those are your two choices. Yeah, he's raggedy. The father, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking. You gonna hold on to something for 40 years and you thinking about this other broad, that's why you held on to that ring? And so then you're gonna transfer that to your new daughter-in-law. Every time you look at her, you're gonna be thinking about that woman that you proposed to or didn't get, whatever the story is with there. But the association with the father is unsavory to me. You should have no thoughts about your son's wife being connected to you in any way, shape, or form. This whole letter is just tacky, tawdry, and twisted, and sick, and nasty, and a whole bunch of other adjectives. Okay, so I hope you understand, young lady. You gonna have to put your foot down and tell him, oh no, son, this ain't going down like that. It's not going down like that. And if he has any kind of attitude about it, where he, wants to call you spoiled and all this kind of stuff, give him that raggedy ass ring back, and then walk off like a G. Okay, because you young, you only 26 to 29 age group. Should it be lines of men trying to marry you? Question number 3, female 40 to 49, out El Paso, Texas. I have been married for more than 20 years. I am decently attractive and in good physical shape. Many years ago, my husband cheated on me after the birth of our second child. He cheated with well, I'm not going to say the name of the business. Anyway, a fitness club receptionist who worked at the location we frequented. It took much work, but we reconciled. Last year, my husband began talking with our female neighbor who is divorced. He would go over to her yard daily before coming in after work. She would wait on her steps if she saw him pulling up after work. I caught him over at her house on the steps at 6:30 in the morning, and I asked him if he had feelings for her. He said he did have feelings for her, and then later tried to change his statement and said he had a crush on her. And he's still living? I put my husband out for days until we talked. He now claims he didn't know why he said what he said about our neighbor. I tried to tell him I was worried about communicating with the neighbor in advance of the 6:30 a.m. incident, but he blew me off. My question is this: should I divorce my husband even though there is no eggplant stuff going on. However, I do believe he has an emotional affair. I have to see this neighbor regularly since we live right next, and it is tough. Oh, absolutely. You should have divorced him the first time. See, my thing is this. My thing is this. When you get married, and I mean, I know a lot of people don't feel like this. They feel like, it was a one time thing. We can work it through and blah, 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 and stuff. And if that works for you, that's absolutely fine. I'm not one to, tell somebody what they should or shouldn't do. It's their marriage, their heart, their family. I'm just telling you, since you wrote to me, that would not work for me. And the way I think, if I'm standing up there taking vows to be, to honor and respect you and cling to you and cleave to you, or whatever it says, and we not gonna cheat and we're gonna be just with each other, then I expect you to hold up your end of the bargain. At any day, at any time, if you feel for any reason that you are no longer interested in doing that, then just tell me and we'll get a divorce. You don't have to go do all kind of crazy stuff, disrespectful stuff, disrespecting me, disrespecting our marriage, disrespecting your children, disrespecting your parents, and all the people who stood up there and watched you take those vows. You're just slapping them in the face and kicking them in the face. Do handle yourself like a G. Say, I don't really want this anymore. Let's get a divorce. And I'd be like, okay. And that's it. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to try to reason with you. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to say, okay, do your thing, pack your stuff up and get out. And then we'll be done. Very, very calmly. But right next door, this is the utmost in disrespect. He's doing it right in your face. And so is this woman. So neither one of them give a shit about you. And I personally, that there's one thing, I mean, you don't have to love me, but one thing you're going to do is respect me. This right here, this would have been it. While he was gone, he would have got served divorce papers. That's just it. And he just doesn't, he gonna sit there and tell you he has a crush on who? What man in his 40s has a crush? You don't have a crush, you're lusting, sir. Let's use the correct adjective here. He's trash. Your husband is trash. Get rid of him before he hurts you again. Question number 4. This is a female in the 22 to 29 age group out of Atlanta. And she says, if it's Atlanta, it's going to be some drama. My question is very short. Is it really possible to truly love someone but still cheat on them? Just what we was talking about. My boyfriend cheated on me but claims it meant nothing, and I shouldn't be concerned about it because he only loves me. I am so hurt, but I need to know what to think or feel about this and if it's true. No, it's not true. It's not true. Um, when you have a man who says that, they love you, they don't love you. Sometimes what they love is what you do for them. Sometimes they love how you make them feel. Sometimes they love, how you take care of them or whatever, that kind of stuff. They love certain aspects about you. But do they love you? Are they really invested in you? Are they really tied to you emotionally so that even the thought of hurting you and them making you cry sends them into a tizzy? That is love. Okay, now this here, when they say stuff like this, that's just game. Okay, and as you see his work, because you sitting up here confused and writing to me, I'm giving you a little break since you're probably in the younger end of this range. But of course he cheated on you and claimed that it meant nothing. They always do that. What's he gonna say? Oh, I cheated and I'm in love with someone else, but I still want to be with you too. That's not how they're gonna run it. That defeats the purpose. So he want to tell her, "Oh, I think I'm falling in love with you," and he gonna tell you, "No, no, no, I still love you," so he can have you both. That's how that game goes. So what you need to do is understand two things. Number one, a boyfriend is not a husband. Okay, a boyfriend is just the dude that you screwing exclusively for the moment. That's what a boyfriend means. I know everybody want to put all this on it and make it seem like it's something all fantabulous and wonderful and stuff. But a boyfriend, that's all a boyfriend is. Whoever you screwing this at right now, that's it. Okay, so if you guys had an agreement for how you was gonna run your situation, and then he reneged, then it's that relationship should be over. How can you go forward in a situation like that? How can you invest more emotion, more trust, more time, more energy, more money, more anything in a situation where you already know a guy has no qualms about hurting you. See, that's the part that drives me crazy when I look at um, how women try to justify this kind of stuff. This dude has told you to your face that he doesn't really care about you by his behavior. See, men speak with actions. Women always want to hear words. That's why she's confused right now. Because what he said. Remember what I was telling you the other day? He say this, he say that. But what's he doing? Okay, you pay attention to what he's doing and how he's treating you, what his actions are saying. And his actions are telling you that he does not give poo 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 about you. So let this go. Move on to the next guy. Hopefully, someone who has better sense, a stronger sense of integrity, who believes more in commitment, and who will honor and respect you as his woman. That's the kind of guy you want. You don't want this one. Okay, all he's going to do now, especially now if you stay with him, he's going to know that you accept a cheater. That's the mistake a lot of you make. You stay with these dudes, and so he knows all he got to do is come up with some strong song and dance and some strong rap, and you gonna stay there. So he gets all the benefits of still having you around, and the other chick too, or chicks with an S on the end. It's not how you handle yourself. Question number 5. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Phoenix. She says, "Hi, Deborah. I really appreciate some advice on my current friends with benefits situation. I was having eggplant with this man I have been friends with for a year. When we first agreed to have eggplant, I told him that he would have to pay for the morning after pill. Also, if I got pregnant, he would need to pay for an abortion. Unfortunately, I am 4 weeks pregnant and now he does not want to pay for the abortion. Really? Please advise me if I could take him to civil court and sue him for the expense. Also, he knows we are not in a relationship, so why would he want a child in this messed up situation? What should I do in this situation? Thank you. You are awesome. First of all, you don't give a shit what he wants. Let's start there. You trying to put all the responsibility for him. Well, if he doesn't, in this situation, why does he want a child? He don't want a child. He just don't want to pay for the abortion. You're mixing apples and kumquats. Okay, that doesn't mean he wants a kid. It just means he doesn't want to pay for the abortion. So he's stalling in the hopes that you pay for it, right? Which you're going to, because you don't want the kid. The second thing I want to tell you, if you're going to have any kind of situation where you're out here a fertile young woman and you screwing dudes, you need to have a morning after pill in your night table. You pay for it or your health care plan. Tell your doctor to give you a prescription. If they do that, if it's over the counter, I don't know, because I don't need to have one. But it's you know, you go and you get the morning after pill, or 2 or 3 or 5, whatever many they'll give you, put it in your night table. So you wouldn't have to have this discussion. And you're gonna sit there and tell him, well, you're gonna have to pay for it. If he's gonna have to pay for it, you should have got the money up front. How much does an abortion? Where are you? Phoenix. I don't know how much an abortion costs in Phoenix, but whatever that fee is, you should have got that from him in cash and put it in your drawer or in your bank account so that if the time came, you could use it. And if the time didn't come at the end of y'all's relationship, you could give him his money back. You see how do you do that? It's kind of like layaway. He got an abortion on layaway. Okay? That's how you do that. So, well, I don't know if they have free clinics, and each state has different rules about that. Now they have stuff like that. California, you can apply for Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal is our own state version of Medicaid or Medicare, whatever it is. And in a crisis situation, they will pay, or if you have enough money, they'll have a sliding scale, whatever. But if you're poor and you can't afford a kid, they'll pay. So you might want to look into that. I mean, I don't know what your employment situation, if you have health insurance, because you have health insurance, depending on what the laws are in Phoenix, I mean, Arizona, they'll pay for it too. But whatever you need to do, start looking for it because you're 4 weeks out. Okay, that you want to get this done within the next 2 weeks. Well, we're not talking about STDs. We're talking about, well, she's young. She's in the 22 to 29, 26 to 29 age group. So she's probably, in the 20s, around 26 or so. But, that's when you make a lot of mistakes when you're in your 20s. You do a lot of dumb shit. And at least she had enough sense to write to me. So that's what you do, okay? You gonna take care of this, what no matter what he does. And as far as going to sue him for it, unless you had a written agreement that says that, or you have a recording of him saying it, or you have a text exchange of him saying that, an email, or some kind of documentation where he agreed to that, then you just SOL, and that's why he's not bothered, because he knows he's not gonna have to pay because you didn't handle your business correctly, and so you're going to have to pay it. Otherwise, you're going to have a baby. Now, if you wanted to have a baby and make him tap him for child support for 18 years, you could do that too. But then you'd be punishing yourself, and I don't think that makes any sense. Okay. Now, let's move on. Question number 6. We have, how many did I say we have? 21 questions plus a bonus question my cousin wrote. 21 questions. So this is number 6. Male, 30 to 39, from Islington in the UK. My partner recently came out and said that she hasn't been happy for the last 2 months as something has been missing for her, though she doesn't really know what it is. Obviously, due to the COVID lockdown, things have changed a bit with not a lot to do together, plus me working from home, etc. So I'm not getting out the house much, and there's not a lot to talk about. We also just had a baby who's 7 months old now, which probably has changed our relationship. Though we did not argue anything, but clearly something has changed and is missing for her. We have promised to try our best to make things work for the sake of our child. Please, some advice would be great. Well, I mean, dude, you don't really tell me what the problem is. I guess she don't know. You know what it is? She might have, combined with COVID and just having a baby. That's a bad combination for your mental health and your, postpartum depression type of stuff. And having a kid, your first kid, is so freaking overwhelming. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for my mother and aunts, I probably would have jumped off a bridge or something. I was so stressed out. It was not funny. It's like the responsibility of this little person hits you, and they never, especially if you're nursing, they never stop touching you. It drove me crazy. I just wanted to be in my body by myself. I didn't want any. I mean, I had to touch her to nurse her because she was little. You got to pick them up, you got to hold them, some stuff. And then here come my husband talking about, he want a hug and all this stuff. Oh my God. I flung him off of me like I was the Hulk. And dude went flying. I was like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I don't want anything to touch me. I just want to be by myself. And I went in the living room and sat on the floor in the corner in the dark. Just sat there. And the baby was screaming and stuff. I did not move. He had to deal with it. I'm like, look, just leave me alone before I leave the house and you be raising your daughter by yourself. Don't touch me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Leave me alone. And I had a couple of days like that. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Sleep deprivation, all kind of stuff. What you are basically when you're pregnant, you are a host for a parasite. If you look at how parasites live and you look at how fetus live, this exactly the same thing. They will take all the nutrients from your body. They will leach the very calcium from your bones, the iron from your tissues, everything to get what they need to survive. And you just the host, and you will be depleted and all kinds of messed up after if you don't eat well and take care of yourself. So I'll be warning women. Don't think this is a picnic. And then the hormones start flying. It's a nightmare. So I understand. So if she's dealing with that, plus she's dealing with COVID, plus she's stuck in the house looking at you all day, because normally we look forward to our husbands going to work or something to get out of our face so we can breathe all the air in the house by ourselves and just do what we want to do. But instead, you're there every second, probably asking, oh, honey, can you bring me this? Can you bring me that? Oh, I'm hungry. Can you make me a sandwich? So not only is she dealing with the baby, she got to deal with you too. Dude, you need to think about what relationship and what you've been slacking off on. Have you been helping with laundry, helping keep the house clean, helping with the baby? Have you been doing anything other than sitting in your office on your computer working? Okay, your woman sounds like she's exhausted, she's miserable, and she's resentful. And I have a strong suspicion that at least 60% of that is because of you. So you better get your shit together before you end up divorced. Well, you didn't say you was married. You said my partner. Yeah, well, whatever. But you better step it up. Question number 7. This is a female in the 50 to 59 age group from Winnipeg, Canada. My 22-year-old daughter just told me that she is dating a 52-year-old man who's my age. 22 and 52? He has been divorced twice and is a recovering alcoholic. What? I will never accept him in my home, and she is upset. I also did not forbid her to date him or say anything negative about him. I just didn't want to be around him ever. While I do not think he's a bad person and probably does treat her well, I cannot accept the fact that a decent 52-year-old man would date a 22-year-old. She will end up his nursemaid. I don't want to lose my daughter, but I think I will because I don't accept him. Do you think any other parents have gone through this? I know several people married to older men up to 20 years older. They're now waiting for their men to go into nursing homes, etc. Oh my God. They thought that when they married them that their love would survive the odds, but now they wish they had listened to the naysayers. This man does not have a good paying job. She makes way more than he does. She's college educated and very intellectual. Why? Who the hell knows? Because obviously your daughter, she might have all of that going on, but her self-esteem is in the toilet. For her to think that a alcoholic, old, dried up, crusty ass man that's broke and divorced twice, that means he don't really know how to hold on to, a relationship or pick a person right, which in evidence here. Um, so that means he's gonna start having failing health. He's a recovering alcoholic. That means his kidneys and stuff are shot, his liver. So he's going to start having some serious health problems in probably about 5 or 6 years. And her being young, he wants to latch on to her so he'll have somebody strong and young to take care of him, just like you said. He's gonna be a nursemaid. Let's see, how would I handle this as my daughter? I think I would write her a letter because she probably don't want to talk to you. I would write her a letter and I would project for her what her life is going to be like if she continues down this path and say, I love you and I don't want this for you. And, I can't stop you from making this choice. You're an adult, but that's where it ends. I have the right as an adult to make sure that this raggedy piece of shit man that you have never sets foot in my house. I don't want to meet him. I don't want to smell him. I don't want to look at him. I don't want to breathe up the air in my house. I don't want him sitting on my couch. I don't want him using my toilet. I don't want him in my door. I don't want him nowhere around me. Now that's your choice, but it's not mine. Okay, so as long as we on the same page and you understand where I'm coming from, then we cool. Yeah, yeah, he old and busted alcoholic and you know, old. I just can't get over this 30-year age difference. 22, a 52-year-old man, that's older than my daddy was when I was 22. My parents had us kind of young. But I mean, he was like in his, I don't know, we'll see. When I was 22, he was probably about 48 or something, 49, but he wasn't no 52. This is crazy. Question number 8, female 40 to 49 from Perth, Australia. I'm writing to ask what is up with men and their inability to accept rejection. I'm 41 and I have a profile on a popular dating app. Of course you do. I clearly stated in my profile what I want, that my child will always come first, and that if I'm not interested, I will let you know. I'm a strong, independent woman who knows what I want and don't want. I also state that I'm not on the website every day and won't respond that quickly. In the past, I've had guys reach out and I would not respond, but they would keep messaging and it gets really annoying. Hence the disclaimer that if I'm not interested, I'm going to tell you. So recently, I've had a few guys reach out and I have told the ones that I'm not interested in as such. In fact, my response is not interested. Good luck to you. There have been two guys who have gotten really nasty to me. One told me to enjoy my shitty outlook on life and to F off. Wow! I called him out. I asked if he would be perfect. I'd lead him on if I'm wrong for being honest. I clearly dodged a huge bullet here, but what the fuck? I felt like he was displaying abusive behavior, verbally assaulting me because I'm not interested in him. I don't get it. On his profile says he has a son. Today, same thing. After I messaged that I wasn't interested, he sent a very interesting response. He said that he had to, quote, school me on how a woman with class should present their self and that I shouldn't tell people that. I should just not respond. Of course, I was pissed and told him that he shouldn't school anyone until he learns proper grammar and that their self is not a word. Good job. I then wished him luck. Seriously, what is going on with these men? Do they really think that this behavior is okay? I mean, these are fantastic examples for me to show my daughter when she starts dating so she knows how crazy things can get out of here. I told one of my guy friends about it, and he told me to just block them and move on. But why? Why should I let a person be disrespectful to me? I have to be professional 60 hours a week in my job and let people verbally abuse me? Why should I let a potential suitor get away with it? Okay. Yes, that's one way to do it, is to tell them about themselves. You can certainly do that. And the other way is to preserve your energy and not be bothered and to just block them, like your friend said. So it just depends on what you want to do. I tend to be a mixture myself, so I totally get where you're coming from. Because this guy had someone said to me, wait a minute, let me not mess this up. Let me quote you. Okay, you said he said, enjoy your shitty outlook on life and to F off. Oh, he would have got smooth cussed out. He would have been every kind of motherfucker I could have thought of. That's why your trifling two-bit piece of roach ass didn't get nobody wants to be going out with you. I picked up on your abuser vibes, you nasty fucker. That's why nobody wanted to go out with you. I knew you was a piece of shit. So somebody gonna go, I might have a shitty outlook, but it's only because I'm looking at shit. You see shit, you have a shitty outlook. That's the way it works. And then I would have blocked him. And the other one, he told me he want a school or how a woman with class should present themselves. Oh, you did well, but I would have had to clown him even more than that. You illiterate fuck. Nobody want to go out with you. You can't even spell. You don't even know grammar and punctuation. I don't even have a GED. You sitting up here trying to tangle with somebody with an MBA. Get out of here, boy. Something like that. I would have had to clown him. Okay, so anyway, that's all I have to say to that. Those are your two choices. As you surmise. So if you have the time and you feel like going off on them, do it. I'm not gonna stop you. That's one of my favorite things to do to people. But if you decide that they're just too stupid and you just rather just not, sometimes in that mood and I just don't want to be bothered. So then I just block them and go on with my life. So you pick. Oh my God, you got reported. I wouldn't give a shit. Report me, you still got cussed out. You know what I mean? It's like you can't undo the cussing, no matter what they. Then it's like who gives a shit about being on some tired app? You know how many of them there are? Just go to another one. You know, that's like it's like Facebook. They be trying to act like we're gonna close your account. Kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck. They be trying to like threaten people and act like you're gonna like it's meaningful. I don't make no money off of there, so why do I give a shit? It's less people for you to look at your stupid ads. You shouldn't want to do that. You should want to have as many people on there clicking them ads and looking at them so you can collect money as possible. But instead, you want to try to regulate on people over some dumb shit. Please. But yeah, they would just be like, oh, we removed this for violating community thing. And the last one they said, do you have a comment that you want to make? And I wrote back, fuck you. And then they banned me for a week. I didn't care. I did not care. Yeah, I just, me and Facebook, when we, over the years, I stay in Facebook prison. I'm like a repeat offender. I had like so many 30-day blocks one year. I think I was like off of Facebook more than I was on it that year. I think that was 2018. I stayed like every time a block would end, I'd say fuck you to somebody else, and then they put me on a 30-day ban again. It was funny. I was clowning. I just want to see how fast it's gonna put me back on timeout. And it didn't take long. So let's move on to question number 9. And I see you guys making comments about, yeah, they do. They have my name is on there now. I probably have like a poster in their office. They be looking for me to say something foul or fucking to somebody. And I constantly oblige. I'm not shy about it. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I see you guys like, see, I was playing the dots again. Say it in French. Oh, that's a good idea. I can go on Google Translate and say it in like Taiwanese or something, because they'll put it in the little symbols and stuff. You just cut and paste and put it in there. Good idea. But they have people from all over the world working at Facebook, so I don't think I'm gonna get away with that. But it might keep me on there for a day or two longer. Question number 9. This is a female in the 22 to 29 age group from Liverpool, England. I was together with my fiance for 8 months. We were going to be married on December 22nd, 2020, so I thought. Then my fiance all of a sudden said he needed space. So you go from meeting somebody to being engaged in 8 months. Okay. We did have a few issues, but they were not that bad. It turns out while we were on his break, he slept with his kid's mom. They were together for 9 years off and on. He vowed to me that he would never be with her, that she cheated on him a lot of times, that she was abusive to him and his other kids. Why would he do this to me? He said it was a big mistake that he would never do it to me again. So I took him back. A week later, he tells me over the phone that he's done with me again. That was not the same with us anymore. That I kept texting him why I don't understand why he wanted to end things. He texted me that he didn't love me anymore, that I was bugging him to stop texting him to leave him alone. Now he's just gone. I haven't heard from him for a week. How can someone say they love you and want to marry you and lie straight to your face? I thought he really loved me. I'm so hurt and heartbroken. I heard today that he went back to his kid's mom. That's why he left me. And because I was showing him too much attention and then I annoyed him. But that is so hurtful after everything she has done to him. Why would he leave me? Someone that would never cheat on him, someone that truly loved him. He used to tell me how happy and in love with me he was. I don't understand all this. Let me tell you something, young lady who needs to get a clue. I'm going to say this one more time. I want all the young ladies listening to this. Do not go by what a man says. Go by what a man does. Okay? Go by what he does. And in this case, you stuck on the words. Well, he said, and you keep thinking about what he said. But what has he done? He left you 2 times. He cheated on you 2 times, and he tossed you to the curb 2 times. Right? So why are you worrying about focusing on some words of love from months and months ago that obviously don't mean anything? Why are you doing that to yourself? You know, and this fiance business, when women are so focused on, getting that what I call the shut up ring, that ring means everything to you. You will take all kind of abuse, garbage, nonsense, game, you just swallow it all because you are so focused on that ring and marriage and what it means instead of looking at the behavior of the man that you're supposed to be calling yourself marrying. How does he treat you? How does he talk to you? He runs around cheating on you with his baby mama. And how could you think, just being logical here, let's just think this through now. You talking to a man who's been with a woman for almost a decade, has kids with her, and allegedly she cheated and all that, which I don't believe that for a minute. It's probably him, and that he got booted out. But whatever, we don't really know. But it doesn't matter. They went broke. They every time they broke up, they got back together, just like now, right? So if you look at that relationship pattern and you think about it for a few minutes, you would say chances are that they're going to get back together. So let me not involve myself in this situation. That would be like the smart thing to do. But that's not what you did. Yeah, it's just a hot mess. It's just a mess. Why is my hair sticking out crazy today? Um, don't worry about him. Think this is a lesson for you on how to date smarter and assess men better. And when a guy tells you that he's been in a situation with a woman for years and years and years and has children with her and they've gone back and forth, that's nothing you invest in at all. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I'd be like, okay, let me just keep it moving. Yep. So let's move on. This is question number 10 of what did I say? 21 plus a bonus question. So 22. Okay. Question number 10. This is a male in a 40 to 49 age group from San Ramon, California. Sorry, this will be long. Wait a minute. How long are we talking about? Oh my God. All right. I'm in my early 40s. My wife's in her mid 30s. We've been married for 14 years. We have 2 children in kindergarten and sixth grade. Right before Christmas, my wife and kids tested positive for COVID. We had a house full of COVID. Very thankfully, the kids had mild symptoms, and my wife had a few more. During that time, I kept testing negative. We wore masks 24/7 inside the house and didn't go anywhere. They all recovered, and everybody tested negative. Somehow, I tested positive on January 15th. My symptoms were mild, loss of taste, a few headaches, a bit of congestion. I loaded up on vitamins, made a quick recovery with a negative net test. We all had multiple negative tests after getting it. My wife had 2 negatives in a week, was required for her to return to work. Fast forward to January 26th. Wife started getting symptoms again. We both tested. I was negative, but she was positive again. Wow. After getting 2 negatives 10 days prior. After her getting that positive, she tested twice more with two negatives, but she was still having symptoms that were similar to her first time having it. To this day, it's unknown if she ever never fully recovered or she got it again. The negative test she was getting makes me this situation strange. Mm. At this point, I am fine, feeling great. My kids are well. My wife is slowly getting better. Yesterday, with permission from the wife, I took my kids to an outdoor community exercise event. Social distancing was honored. I kept my distance while wearing a mask along with my kids. They were riding their scooters. During the event, 10 of our good friends, kids, all the kids know each other. They weren't any strangers, were there, and I allowed my kids to play with them outdoors. I told my kids they could take off their masks and just play outdoors with their friends. I made the conscious decision that they are okay not wearing masks. No other kids had them on either. The playground was supervised by the event coordinator, a friend of ours who is a physician. I felt like if there were any risk, he would have said something. Good point. I get home and own up to it. I told her I allowed them to not wear masks around their friends outdoors. Based on that, worldwide World War III erupted, and we're on the brink of divorce. Seriously, Deb, being completely honest, our marriage is great, but minor disagreements here and there. But overall, in general, we are very happy. Her point of view, I disregarded her health and safety, and I don't care about her. By doing what I did, I jeopardized her life. Basically, I said, F you. My point of view, I stand by what I did. Based on what experts say, people who recover from COVID have antibodies, and chances of getting it again within a few weeks are slim to none. I have no issue allowing my kids to play with their friends outdoors at a park and ride scooters together. I'm not going to live my life in fear of COVID, especially since we have or currently am overcoming it. I have apologized and asked for forgiveness, but it ain't happening. What's done is done. Please help. Any advice is appreciated. What you want me to say? She's scared because, she's evidently, I think she probably never really got over it. I don't know about these tests because I've heard so many different things from nurses that, they give false positives, they give false negatives. Sometimes like there's so much government money if they have, COVID people that they're treating, that some hospitals are marking tests positive when the people don't really have it. I've heard all kind of stuff from, medical staff that's on the front lines. I don't know. I don't know what to say. All I know is I had symptoms that to me was everything on the COVID checklist. But when they did the test, they said I didn't have it. But my doctor was scratching his head because he said I had like every single symptom from the loss of taste, loss of smell. I mean, everything. I had all the symptoms, fever for a week. I mean, I had everything. And, check, 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 check. And so he was convinced I had it, but the test came back negative. So he doesn't know. You see what I mean? So I don't really know. I don't know if I want to put too much stock in these tests, but the main thing is, everybody in your house had a mild case of it. She had it a little bit more, but she got over it. Everybody in your house is still standing. The kids are fine. I mean, what is the big deal? She think everybody gonna stay in the house and never play outside for the rest of their lives while this COVID stuff is in place? She's got to take standard precautions. And like you said, the main thing is if you have a friend who's a physician and he was okay with it, and his kids are there and everybody's fine, then I would just roll with that. It might make her uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean it was a sick situation that was negligent. Okay, and that's where she's going. She's uncomfortable with it, but that does not mean that you were negligent. And so I would just let her, just pout around and get mad and do whatever she's gonna do. You can't undo it. The only thing you can do is apologize, tell her it'll never happen again, all that kind of drag and drama. But it would have been better for you to keep your mouth shut. Sometimes, people shouldn't tell everything. Not everything to their mates. See, if she don't have no weak immune system. She just had, whatever. I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't be tripping. you know, because the main thing that's on his side of this argument is that his friend who's a doctor is the one who organized the event. His kids were there with no mask on. Dude's kids was there with no mask on. If they're okay with it as a doctor, then it should be okay for you too. And if she had any doubts about it, then she should have said something. Make sure the kids keep their masks on, at the park. And then that would have been that. He would have done it because she would have specifically asked him to. Since she didn't, he went with his physician friend who was organizing the event. And so I would, if I were you, I would just stick to that And if she didn't like it, then just too damn bad. If she want to get a divorce over that, then fine. I mean, you know what I mean? There, Dee Ann says, if she don't, everybody's still standing. Nobody even went to the hospital. Okay, so her immune system's not weakened. All right, she had something, her body fought it, she's fine. Everybody in the house is fine. Okay, so that's not it. She's not an invalid. She wasn't hospitalized. There's nothing wrong with her. She got some shit in there, she got over it. Big, I mean, what? I just don't understand. People want to be acting all scary and stuff. What? No matter what's going around the world, you're going to have to deal with it. Mumps, measles, flu, bird flu, all these different kind of things. There's a risk of catching anything at all times. Salmonella, I mean, all kind of stuff that we take, that we battle on a daily basis. Sometimes you have a little diarrhea and you don't know what it is. You had salmonella, but your body's so healthy it fought it off. People having COVID, most people's symptoms are very mild. It's only people with certain situations that end up in a hospital or that die. Okay, the majority of people get it. The vast, overwhelming majority get it and recover. Or they have symptoms that are so mild they don't even know they have it. Okay, or they tested it, says they have it, but they don't show any symptoms at all. That's the majority of people. So let's just calm down about this. You know, she's not having no compromised immune system. She's fine. She's up talking shit, right? If she was really sick, she would be in the bed. But instead, she's standing up there arguing with her husband and talking hella shit, breathing just fine enough to belt out a whole bunch of yelling and stuff. So that means the bitch is fine. Okay, so don't be worrying about her. Let's move on. Question number 11, female 30 to 39 from Aberdeen, Scotland. I'm writing to you because a friend watched your show on financial abuse and thinks I may be in that situation. Oh, this is a new letter. This is the story. For those of you wondering, we just did that show on Sunday. It was the Sunday sermon on financial abuse. If you have not caught it, ladies, I strongly recommend that you take a listen because it's very, very educational. So anyway, she says, my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 3 years. We met at work and are very happy. However, since his so-called promotion, he seems to be struggling more than ever financially. Before his promotion, he was on a steady wage averaging around 1,600 pounds per month. But his promotion has meant that it's hit and miss as to whether he even scrapes by with 1,200. What, is he on commission or something? It's almost like his wages are being tampered with. I offered to help him financially for the first month, almost years ago, but once has turned into every month since. I make up his pay to what he was earning before, and I don't earn that much myself. What are you doing that for? He has a mortgage to pay plus other bills besides, whereas I live with my parents that don't have as many commitments. He and his ex-wife plus her 25-year-old son from a previous relationship all live in the same house. His ex-wife doesn't work, although her son has a good job, but contributes nothing financially. I trust that their marriage is over and that there are no existing feelings there. I'm not the jealous type. I feel that I am paying for his entire family who have nothing to do with me. I have bought him expensive gifts in the past for birthdays and Christmas, but I think he's worth it. However, he has now started asking for money for household appliances which he cannot afford to buy. I don't know where this will end. We hope to set up a home together in the next couple of years once we have saved enough money, but I cannot save as every spare penny I do manage to save goes on something else he seems to need and want. I don't have the heart to say no as I cannot stand by and watch him struggle. What should I do? Ooh, you dumb girl, you dumb. You hella stupid. Okay, am I clear? You dumb. First of all, you just getting played. You're getting played. He claims that he got a promotion and now he doesn't have no money. He's putting all his promotion money in the bank and he's using yours. He's living in a house with two adults and they don't want to work or contribute anything. So he's tapping your pocket and you giving him money. You supposed to tell him, I'm not giving you a dime. You telling them two motherfuckers sit living in that house to do something. Otherwise, y'all can be living outdoors in the park, in a cave or something like Yogi the Bear. I don't care what you do, but you're not going to be in my pocket. That's what he would have got from me. Yeah, a lot of people do that because of COVID and stuff. They separated, but they still stay in house. They can't sell the house. People are unemployed. I mean, it's a weird time right now, and just I have heard of people doing that. They're separated. Some of them are even divorced already. The time has passed. They're technically divorced, but they live like roommates. They both have, other people that they see, all kind of stuff be going on. But it's just that kind of time that we're in right now. These are very tough economic times. And so this kind of stuff has been happening. But it doesn't matter. See, to me, there's two able-bodied adults in that household with you. And anything, any shortfall that you have from your quote promotion, your son and your ex-wife need to be making that up. They live there, so that mortgage should be split into three, and the bills should be split into three. The food should be split into, well, they probably eat more than him since he's gone all day, and stuff like that. So it's like there's none of this is your responsibility. And he wants you to buy appliances for his house where he lives with them. Don't you understand how stupid you're being? How you're being used? No wonder your friend wanted you to watch the show on financial abuse because you're just right up in there. Girl, dump this fool. You know, he's filling your head with future talk. Yes, we're going to do this and we're going to do it. He's not going to do nothing with you until he uses you all the way up. Stop it. Get yourself together. Cut this off. And if you have to, get a new job so you don't have to see him anymore. This is ridiculous. You're not going to have a home with him. You're not going to have nothing with him. Okay? This dude is using you. The only way that you're going to get out of this is to cut him off. And then you'll get to see he's going to show his two colors as soon as you stop giving him money. He's not even shady. He's outright, just right out trifling. Shady is when there's some doubt. There's no doubt here. The only one who thinks there's some doubt is her. I see right through dude. He ain't about nothing. He ain't about nothing. This is sad that somebody would be this trifling and be this old, and and she's falling for it. I don't even know. It just never ceases to amaze me the stuff that women fall for. I don't have the heart to say no as I can stand and watch him struggle. See, if you break up with him, you won't have to watch because you won't be around. You see my point here? He'll just be over there doing his thing and he'll make them people give him some money like he's supposed to. Question 12, female 50 to 59 from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I haven't visited your site for quite some time, but it was a regular when I lost my husband of 32 years in 2012. Then I found you on YouTube. You don't know this, but you helped me tremendously to deal with his death and the ensuing grief. 6 years after his death, I met and married a wonderful man who was also a widower. He told me up front that he had a very close relationship with his four adult children. I was looking forward to being involved in a family. Now, 3 years later, I see that relationship has been because they are all four emotionally needy, emotionally unstable, and moreover, financially dependent on him. It's his fault for providing financial support. He is a very controlling person and has to manage their lives, or so it appears. I saw it from the beginning and told him that he was enabling them to rely on him, and it's caused a great deal of grief in our marriage. There are two daughters, 38, 34, and two sons, 42 and 40 and 36. So wait, 34, 36, 38, 42. These are not only adults, these are old ass adults, middle aged adults. The girls are the worst as far as running to daddy for needing money for anything and everything: food, rent, utilities, car note, phone, medicine, gas. I think I've heard it all. The two daughters do not work and are always begging for money. I finally put my foot down around Thanksgiving and said I would not agree to give these girls any more money. We almost split up over it. He has been estranged from the two girls. They live an hour and a half away from us since the middle of November. Life has been calm and much easier. His feelings were hurt, and we needed time away from them to heal. Now both girls are easing their way back into daddy's life, and he's okay with that. He says forgive and forget, move on, act like nothing ever happened, because that's what families do. He expects me to not have the same feelings he does. I will do not and will not. Hmm. I have been the other woman since we got married and have never been accepted. I'm having a very hard time dealing with these people. They always have been a priority over me. I've had many discussions with my husband and been totally honest about how I feel about these kids. He can't understand why I can't just put the past in the past and go on like we are a big happy family. I've been hurt and financially devastated by his kids, and I'm feeling like I'm not willing to tolerate putting his kids over me any longer. He is a loving man, but mix those four in and it's disaster. I love this man, but refuse to let his adult children be first and foremost in our lives. I need to be made to feel like I'm a priority. Any comments would be appreciated. Thanks for letting me vent. You're going to have to leave him. That's what's going to have to happen. Their relationship was well established before you came into his life. And it's going to continue in this vein because he doesn't see anything wrong with it. It allows him to have a certain amount of control, as you so rightly noted, over them because he who who pays the cost is the boss. So by positioning himself as being the person that they have to go to for money, it gives him a certain power and influence over them. Unfortunately, since you married him, now some of that money that he's giving them is yours. See, me, soon as I found that out, I would have been right back up out of that marriage. Because one thing Deb don't do is take care of no grown ass people. I'm not doing it. So the first day they came in there talking about we need some money, I've been like, well, what you really need is a job. That's what you need. I don't care if you work at whatever the equivalent of Walmart is in the UK. Do you have Walmart in the UK? So I have some people here from the UK. They wouldn't know. Whatever it is, you need to go. I don't care what you did, become a shop girl. You're going to do the clean gutters. I don't care what you're going to do, but you're going to do something that's going to make yourself some money so you can get up out of my pocket with your 34, 38, and 42-year-old ass. I'm like, that's not going to happen. I don't understand where they do that at, that old. So that is what I think you're going to have to just tell him, you have got to let them go. Those are adults. They need to start kicking it for themselves. What do you think is going to happen when you die? Because I'm not going to support them if that's what you think. That's not going to happen. You're going to die and they're going to be left with nobody to give them money and take care of them. What do you think they're going to do? And he's going to sit there looking all stricken. And you say, well, whatever they're going to do then, that's what they need to start doing now so that they're prepared for when when that happens, because your ass is not a spring chicken. And I'm not taking care of no grown people. Not going to do it. So they just going to be ass out, homeless, and a whole bunch of stuff. So you need to start getting prepared for that inevitability now. And if that's not something that you want to do, then we're going to get a divorce. And then you throw up the deuces and be out. So you can keep all your money because you're getting older too, and you need to start making sure that you have all the proper money in place for your retirement. You better think about yourself and stop worrying about him and what he's doing with them stupid kids of his. Oh no, Deb would have been like, oh no, I'm telling you, the very first time they would have all got cussed out. Get the fuck out. They're sitting up here asking some grown ass sitting up here talking about give me some money. The fuck? And that would have been it. They would have all got cussed out and tossed out. And I told them, if you touch that checking account that has got half of my money in it, we're instantly getting a divorce. So if that's what you want, then you go give them a dime and watch what happens. That's my money. Either now to take my money out, I wouldn't be buying shit in that house. He want to be so generous and stuff, he would be buying, he paying for everything. And all my money would go in the bank. Now, that would be one solution if you want to stay married to him. Just put all your money in a separate account and don't give him a dime. Let him buy all the groceries, pay all the bills, and then let him see the impact of how little cash he has if he want to be throwing around money to some adults. That's another way to do it. Oh, no, yeah, they would come in. I would sit them all down and read them the riot act, and they would all got cussed out. Lazy bums. Let's move on. Question 13. This is a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group from Phoenix. My husband's mother is very dominating, and he's always been under her thumb. We've only been married a few months, but already I can feel the presence of the problem. This is not a typical mother-in-law matter, as I like her well enough as a person, but I'm feeling a bit caught in the middle. My husband complains to me all the time that she wants him to do things for her. I tell him he should be more honest and assertive, but he says it's very hard after a lifetime pattern of just giving in. When he does stand his ground, I'm sure she thinks I'm responsible for his new attitude. Maybe marriage has just given him the courage to stand up for himself, but I feel that he and I are just starting out, and I don't want this cloud over our head. What can I do, if anything? He says it's very hard after a lifetime of just giving in. Okay, so what you're going to have to do, see, you're worried about what she thinks. You don't worry about what she thinks because this is between him and her. You're out of it. So you talking about I'm in the middle? You're not in the middle at all. That's between his mother and him. Okay? So when because, look, my husband's mother was exactly the same, but she got straight. So this thing here, when he does something, he stands up for himself. This is when a time when you become, like Eddie Murphy used to do in his movies, Hercules, Hercules. You got to big up him because he needs to feel like you got his back, that he's doing the right thing, that you're applauding his masculinity and all this stuff. Girl, you got to use your feminine wiles on him. And so he's going to feel like the man, the stud man, if you do this right, and that he will have the courage and the strength and be more willing to stand up to his mother more and more, because the approval that he's seeking is yours. It's not hers. Okay, he's looking for you, and you sitting up there acting all weak, talking about, well, I'm in the middle. See, you're bowing out. You are supposed to be solidly on the side of your husband on this matter, and not just saying you in the middle. Your bitch ass is not no middle or nothing. You're getting on my nerves right now. Okay, you didn't marry the mother-in-law. You married him. That's your dude. Okay, so whatever he's trying to do, it's not a fucked up illegal thing or nothing. Nothing's wrong with what he's trying to do. What he's trying to do is the right thing, and you need to back him up. You need to show him that you got his back, and that's not what you're doing. Oh, I'm in the middle. I don't know. The worst kind of wife. The one that's just going to sit there and just let her husband handle shit all by himself. Get your act together, young lady. Stop this. Every time he stands up to his mother, you encourage him. When his mother starts being kind of rambunctious and stuff, and start trying to command you around, then you say, well, I'm not going to do that. Let me, put you on the phone with your son. And you pass the baton. And then, when you stand right there, and when he starts saying, no, Mom, I'm not going to do that, then you hug him and you kiss him, you rub his back, you smile at him all big, you give him kisses, you give him some more strength so that he can keep on that vein and not feel so insecure like he's maybe doing the wrong thing. By you doing this stuff that you're doing right now, you're making him feel doubtful. You're making him feel like he's doing it all by himself, and he's, at sea on a boat with no oars. That's your marriage. That's your husband. You need to get your shit together, lady. Get your shit straight. Yeah, he had my husband, he had a hard time. I remember we was dating, and it was, let's see, because we had just started dating. And because we met at the end of October. And then, we dated, through the holiday season. And this was around Christmas time. And he's at my house, right? It's late at night. It's like 11 o'clock at night. We getting ready to be busy. And his phone rings. So he's looking at his mama. So he pick up the phone. It's like 11:30 at night or something. This hag tells him that she wants him to go to the store and buy her a ham for the next day, which was a day or two before Christmas Eve. It was in the week of Christmas, but days ahead of time, and buy her a ham and to bring it over to the house. And he was looking. I could tell he was mad because his jaw got tight and he was like breathing funny and stuff. And I was just like looking at it because I just wanted to see what he was gonna do. And he was like, well, Mama, no, this and that. I'll bring it in the morning. This and that. I'm busy, he was like arguing with her and stuff. And so he finally said, look, Mama, I got to go. I'll bring it in the morning. And then he hung up. And I was like, good job. I was just waiting to see how he was gonna handle it. I just wanted to see what kind of boundaries he was gonna put in place, because that was gonna tell me a lot about if I wanted to be with him or not. Because one thing Deb does not do, no Leo plays second fiddle to nobody. We don't do that. So in a relationship, I'm either number one and I'm the whole show, or there's no show. Now, my name ain't gonna be nowhere on the program. So he was looking. I said, "Oh, that was good. You handled that well. Is she upset?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, this and that, but she'll get over it." And then we went on and had our fun. I said, "Okay, I can roll with this. I can." We could do this. But that was a big test, and luckily he passed it. Because if he had not passed it, I would not have these stories to tell you guys, and I would not have the daughter that I have. I might have some other kid, but it wouldn't have been his. My life would have been very different. So let's move on. Question 14. Female, 30 to 39, Davenport, Iowa. I've noticed recently that when I strike up a conversation with folks on online dating apps, sometimes they ask about my worst dating experiences. I think it's odd that it's brought up so regularly, so early in the conversation. I've been incredibly frustrated with my online dating experiences. Yeah, that's everybody I've ever talked to. But I like to try and keep things positive, so talking about my negative experiences is uncomfortable. I also notice that when I say I'd rather not share my negative experiences, the guys I'm chatting with usually go right ahead and share theirs. Before you know it, I'm hearing about some weird, awkward first date story from someone I don't even know. But I'm trying to get to know to see if I want to go out with them. I've also noticed the bad dating story or bad relationship story time tends to come up as a conversation rather quickly on first and second dates. I'm just curious about your thoughts on this. Those are stupid people. All you have to do, because they don't have nothing to talk about. So they want to talk about stuff they think is going to be amusing, right? They think it's going to be funny. So they bring that up and you say, you want to keep things positive. Let's see, what do you say? Oh, you say, I'd rather not share my experiences. Okay. Uh, just lie. You know what? Because you saying that you being all truthful and honest, and that leaves that door open. All you have to do is say, I don't really have any, but there's always room for one. This may fit the bill. This may be the story that I tell other people. You just never know. See that you know what that would do? Shut his ass down. It's like I don't have no negative dating stories, but you know that spot is open. You just never know. This may be you, sir. Knucklehead. Don't have nothing sensible to talk about. And as he starts talking about that, what you're supposed to do is interrupt him and you say, no, you don't even make something up. You just turn it around. Don't make anything up. This is not the time for that. You want to shut that shit down. Shut it down. If you're going to make up stuff, you do it like on a job interview, or you want to get out some work for some excuse or something. That's when you make up stuff. But in a situation like this, you're not obligated to tell them anything. Made up, truthful, nothing. Okay, so what you're going to do, you just shut that down, like I said. Then, if he want to tell you about his stories, you do this. Everybody, that's a universal timeout, stop talking sign. All men know what that means. Is the other one. That means stop talking. Okay, if you don't get what this is, then you do this. And then it said, I told you I don't want to talk about negative dating experiences. I'm trying to learn about you, not the idiots that you went out with. Okay, so let's talk about you. I don't want to talk about mundane, silly stuff like that. Oh, see, what you got to understand is when guys have this thing where they'll talk, and I want you guys to pay attention to this too. They will talk. They will talk. They'll talk, 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 talk. They just be using a whole bunch of words. But at the end of it, do you know anything about him? Do you really know anything about how he thinks, how he operates in the world, what his goals are, what his life has been like, what irritates him, what things bring him joy, his family life? Listen, no, they just use a whole bunch of words talking about just mundane, stupid shit that at the end of the conversation, he been talking nonstop for 2 hours, and then you think about what you've learned about this man, and it could fit on your fingernail. Because they do that because they're trying to keep you at a distance emotionally. There's no intimacy there at all, but what they do is by using a lot of words. Most women love words, right? You all love conversation, you love words. They know that women like that, so y'all get dizzy, you get caught up in all the words, and you don't think about the fact that, wait a minute, he's just talking a bunch of bullshit. I'm hearing bullshit from spewing forth from his lips, just miles and miles and tons of it. It has nothing, it's just dribble. And so they do that, and a lot of them are very practiced at it. They have like the same stories, the same script that they run with each woman. It's exactly the same. And, the women think that they had a conversation. They didn't have a conversation. Dude just spinned a bunch of words at them, just flinging words. So you be very careful about that. And if you are in a situation where you're on a date and trying to be getting to know somebody, you don't let him do that to you. You don't let him do. He's gonna start talking about stupid stuff, sports shit, and some crazy stuff that some I don't know. They just be gossipy stuff and stuff about his exes and just stupid shit that doesn't have nothing to do with who he is as a man. He's telling you about all these other people, all these other people. Most of them, there's all strangers to you. You don't know any of these people, so it's like just rumors and gossip, and you don't know if any of it's true and none of it is meaningful. So you got to be very careful about that kind of stuff. They don't want you to get, they're trying to keep you at a certain emotional distance. And if that's what you notice and that's not what you want, then what you're going to have to do is just, say, well, at the end of it, it's like, uh, this was very interesting. I learned a lot about Sally Sue Joe and Mickey Mantle, but I sure didn't learn anything about you, so I don't see where there's a point in us to have a second date if that's how that seems to be the way that you like to operate. Just use a bunch of words, but you don't really say nothing. Just call his ass out on that shit. And they just will sit there and look at you stunned because most women don't catch on to it. And they definitely are too scared to say anything. You know me. I don't even know how to spell scared. I just say whatever I want to say. And that would be something I would tell you so you understand. I don't be wasting my time with this bullshit. I know this game and it's tired. It was tired back in 1960 and it's still tired. So let's not do that. Okay? Anyway, let's move on. Question 15, female 18 to 21 out of Miami. My boyfriend seems to get jealous or upset over things that I feel should not impact our relationship. He's gotten upset over me wearing shorts or crop top type of shirts. I respect that he does not like me wearing shorts as I realize some of my shorts may be too short, so I stopped wearing those. Sometimes I wear them in the house though. Today I was wearing them and he needed to leave for work, so I had to take our dog outside and he reminded me to change. I did change, but I changed back into my shorts by the time he came back home. As soon as he came in, he got upset, accusing me that I didn't change, saying that I like attention from other men. It's so frustrating to be telling someone the truth and not believe it. Instead of hearing me out, he shuts down and ignores me. I don't even know if I should be watching how I dress. I do not dress provocatively and I don't wear certain clothes to bring any attention to myself. I'm not sure what to do anymore. I sometimes feel trapped in my relationship. I feel scared to wear a romper or anything with spaghetti straps. How should I handle this? You should break up. That's what you should do. He's a little control freak. This is what you do with a man like that. You look him in the eye and say, look here, motherfucker. I was wearing this shit when you met me. You didn't have no problem with it then, so you don't get to have a problem with it now. Okay, I'm not walking around with my tatas and my ass cheeks hanging out. You not, right? I mean, you said your shorts are short, but hopefully they not that short, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you that. The stuff they're short, but not ass cheek short. And then, you know, that's just it. That's how we're gonna roll here. I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I'm a grown up. I will never do anything that's gonna disrespect you, but you're not gonna regulate what I wear. Okay, I'm not a child. If that's a problem for you, tell me now and we'll break up. I'll pack my things and I'll leave. Because I refuse to be in a situation where some man thinks he's going to dominate and control me like that. That's what you have to tell him. I'm going to wear what I fucking please. And you don't get to have a say in it. That's just it. If I ask you if you like it, then you can say yes or no. But since I haven't asked you that, you don't have a say. I'm not listening to anything that you have to say about my attire. You ain't buying my clothes. I'm not married to you, and I wear what the fuck I want to wear. And that's what you tell him. So he need to understand. But personally, this is the kind of stuff I hate. Men trying to tell me what to do. I hate it with a passion. So soon as he did something like this, I would have packed my stuff and left. I'm not going to argue with you about it. But see, that's just me. That's my personality. I'm not going to argue with you about what I do for me and what works for me. What works for me is what works for me. You don't have to like it, but it works for me, so I like it, and that's the way it's going to be. But a lot of dudes are used to having women that they can control like this. I don't want you wearing that. My wife ain't gonna wear that. My woman ain't gonna wear that. No, bitch, I will wear what the fuck I want to wear. You gonna want to wear some hot pants, then don't you put them on. But if I want to wear them and I look good in them, guess what? I'm gonna wear them. And if I like attention from other men, oh well, what you wanted, you should have got with a dog then. Some old, look like a helium blimp, and then she would be able to look not get attention from men, and then you would be happy. But you want to go get some fine fly babe and then be mad because other men look at her. Of course they're gonna look at me. What's there not to look at? Look at all this fineness. Just like you looked at it, so are other people. Does that mean that I want to be with them? No, it doesn't. But they're entitled to look. They got two eyes. Now you gonna be all insecure, you know? Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Don't even tell me how to do my hair. Don't tell me about my eyebrows. Don't tell me about my nails. Don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me anything. Nothing. Because nothing that I do is your concern. Knucklehead. All right, let's move on. Question 16. Female 30 to 39 from Nashville, Tennessee. I was on a first date and he wasn't the most comfortable person to be with. At the dinner table, I saw him take pictures of the food. And he quickly took a snap of me. What? After the date, I felt we weren't clicking, so I asked him if he took a picture of me. And he said he did, so I kindly asked him if he could delete it. He said he will, but I'm not too experienced with online dating. But isn't it a little creepy if your date takes pictures of you without your consent on your first date? This was like within 30 minutes of when we met. Why do you think he wanted to take a picture of me? Do you think he really deleted it? No, he didn't really delete it. What you should have done is sat there and made him delete it and then made him delete it out of the trash. But even then, you don't really know because sometimes people have their phones set up so that any pictures they take automatically get saved in the cloud, like, like on some drive somewhere. Mine is set up so it goes on my OneDrive. So, I take it, it's off my phone, it's on my OneDrive. So, that in itself might not have been the solution. The thing is, when he started taking pictures and you saw his camera pointing in your direction, you should do this. You should hold your napkin up and do that. And then after that, you get your purse and you leave. You can put your head down so all he sees is the top of your head. Something like that. You turn so all he's going to see is the side. Something like that. But you knew enough to see him taking the pictures of his food. So that's what it's like when somebody has a camera out, you start getting ready. Right? I learned that from dudes because the ones that be cheating, they don't never want you to have a picture. They don't never want a picture. They don't want you to have a picture of them. So I've learned that by observation. That's what they do. So they don't. You want to be taking pictures. They're gonna strike a pose like this. They're gonna turn like this. They're gonna do something so that you might have a picture, but you're not gonna see their face. It's gonna be something that's very. It could be anybody. So just play that trick back on them. I be watching everything men do. I be watching every little trick they be pulling. It's some amazing stuff. The stuff they do, they get out of everything. But yeah, so that's all you got to do. And when he puts his phone away, then you can go back to being regular. But as long as he got his phone in his hand, that's your poses. Yeah, they don't respect boundaries. And what you need a picture of somebody for? Of course, what you could have also done was pull out the camera out and take a picture of him too. Since we taking pictures, that what we doing? And see how he likes it. Yeah, that's what we doing. We taking pictures of each other. Okay. Exactly, Fee. That'd be me. You know how many pairs of sunglasses I have, and I wear them everywhere. I'll be incognito. All right, question number 17. Well, anyway, whatever reason he had to take the picture of you, none of them make any sense and none of them are savory, considering the fact that this was your first date. It just makes no sense. It's a scrapbook of women he went out with or something. Maybe he was the best looking woman that ever went out with him, so he want to prove or so. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. It just makes me just never want to date again. I'm telling you. Question 17, male, 40 to 49, out of Denver. I'm in my mid 40s, age 46, and new to this medium large U.S. city. Have started meeting people via apps here locally. The first few have been after work for a drink, and I found that I'm not disliking this way of doing things. For one, it's more relaxed because I can't worry about what to wear as I'm coming from work, and what I wear at work is professional. Generally, places are not so crowded. Pandemic limits where I'm at make it hard to find a place to sit at a bar. And it's easy to leave after one drink if it's not going well, or stay longer for food if it is. All of this allows me to pull the trigger on meeting earlier than I normally would, as it's really not terribly inconvenient or expensive. As a counter, though, a female friend of mine says that she would be insulted if someone offered a happy hour for a first date. What do you think about a happy hour first date, Deb? I'm fine with it. Because for the same reasons that you say, because that shit goes two ways. And Deb is really like, I'm telling you, time, time, time. I'm focused on my time. My time, how much time I'm going to spend wasted with this knucklehead? That's what I be thinking. And plus, I like liquor. I love it. I could easily be an alcoholic, but I have too much mental control. But I mean, as far as liking it, I could be a coffeeholic too, because I love coffee too. But, maybe I could put alcohol in my coffee and make it a twofer. That's an idea. But anyway, I don't know. I like happy hour. People are off of work. They're in a good mood because they escaped from their employer. They're still early enough in the evening. They're not tired yet. You get good prices on the drinks. So you could have 2 or 3 drinks for the price you normally would pay for one. And you could get like snacks and stuff. And, it's good. I mean, I love it because I'm not a big meal eater. I like to snack. So, that's a line up 3 or 4 little snacks. I'm nibbling on this and nibbling on that. I'm good. I love it. Okay, you invite me to happy hour, we could have a good time. But your friend saying that she would be insulted, that's too damn bad. She wouldn't be sitting down with somebody forking out $100 to feed her hungry ass. No. You might get that later. Or be like the guy went out, was we initially met for drinks. But he wasn't loving it so much that he says, well, do you have time for dinner? Because I'm really hungry. Let's have dinner. So then we stayed and we had dinner. But that wasn't the original date. Originally, we were just meeting for drinks. But then, he was like having such a good time. He didn't want it to end. So we went around to the other part, and we sat there and had dinner and continued the fun. But that has to be a decision that he makes. I'm not going to be trying to do that. Yeah, it is how you gain happy weight. But that's why I got me a stationary bike. Oh, do you know how hard that sucker is to ride? I had that knee and ankle injury. I don't know if you guys knew. Your friend over here was on crutches for a long time. Then I had a boot on my foot. You can't see all that on the TV, but I was struggling here. And walking with a cane after that, after it came out the boot, my leg was fucked up. So yeah, I had to do something though. So I got me a stationary bike here in the house, and because walking was too painful, and so I do that. I started doing that, but I'm telling you, that's what you do. You go have a happy hour, you eat about 800, 500 calories. You be like, ooh. You come home and you ride your bike for 30 minutes. But I love happy hour, so I don't have a problem with it. And I think if I had met a woman and she said she was insulted going to happy hour on a first date, I wouldn't want to be bothered with her. The only reason I would say that is, might not work is if she's like somebody in Alcoholics Anonymous recovery or something, and she don't really want, she's not strong enough to be around alcohol yet. That might be a consideration, and in that case, that would be a valid reason for her not to be. But just to say genuine, on a GP, I don't, I'm going to be insulted if you take me for happy. That's a whole different that bag of tricks. So anyway, keep doing what you're doing. You don't worry about her. That's a friend of yours. You ain't trying to date her no way, so she don't count. Question number 18, male, 22 to 29 from Los Angeles. I was talking to my girlfriend. She's 21 of 6 months. Because whenever COVID is up, remember you guys, I had booked that place that I was going to have. I had tried to book it for 3 events. As soon as I booked it, I was getting ready to pay my deposit. I made with the people and stuff. I was going down there to sign the contract and give them my check as a deposit. COVID and the shelter in place thing hit last March, shut everything down. So that's why we didn't have our events that we was going to be having. I had talking about them last January. We didn't get to have them because of COVID. So hopefully sometime this year or next year, I guess at the latest. Yeah, she thinks she a $300 date, bitch. You have a good money. $300 worth of ass. That's what you get ready to give up if I'm spending that kind of money. That I would be. I would be a terrible dude. Like Chris Rock say, that's on the fucking side of the menu. So it's like, nah, I'm spending that kind of money. I do have expectations. And I know that about men, because if I was a dude, that's how I would be. Wait a minute, I'm spending that kind of money. I'm invested in some pussy. Where is it? So, that's why I don't like to spend a lot of money. We going to a coffee date, we going to happy hour, we going to some place where we going to be in and out for 40, $50 at tops. And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but see, I don't want to go. I don't eat that kind of meat though. So that's not really the kind of spot that I would want to go to. We got to go someplace where I can have my veggies. Well, I'll figure it out. This place that I was going to have, they might be out of business by now. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, let's get back to dude. He says, I was talking to my girlfriend. She's 21 of 6 months, and she brought up how she wants to go on a plane and travel to different countries. I told her that I've never been on a plane, but would go on one if I had to. I believe that air travel is crazy expensive. On top of that, I don't like all those resorts. How do your little ass know what you like? You ain't never been to one. You just scared. That's what it is. You trying to play it off like it's too much money, you broke fucker. My idea of a vacation is to drive out to a campsite or other vacation spot, rent a motel, and have fun for a few days. See, cheap. I think that doing things something simpler will save money for other things instead of just putting down over $1,000 just for traveling. Then she said if I don't want to travel to other countries, she will break up with me. Then she said that every girl likes to travel internationally and that I'm being unrealistic. I'm having a hard time understanding this one. What should I do? I've tried to talk to her about this, and every time it comes down to her telling me that she would break up with me. It seems extreme and unfair to me, though. No, it means that you are stick in the mud and want to stay at home and go to cheap drive up motels with bed bugs and shit and fleas and go on a campsite. So she get bit by mosquitoes and spiders and ticks. That's what that means. And she ain't trying to do that. She wants to go someplace where she can experience culture and music and stuff of other countries and learn, their cultures and their foods and see the sights and their art and the museums and all this kind of stuff. It's exciting to do that. It's a deal to you get to see that the world is a big place. That other people do things differently and their lives are exciting and different. Their clothes are different. Their languages are different. But you being a typical nig-nog, you just want to stay where you are and don't want to expand your mind and you want everybody else to stay in some cramped up little mental box with you. Girlfriend is not trying to do that. And I'm on her team. So you know what? She's way outside your league, home skillet. You need somebody who's a little dust bunny like you, and then you could be fine with her. Y'all could just dust your little selves to a dusty campsite, and then dust yourself to a dusty motel, and just be fine in your dust. She ain't trying to be like that. Yeah, I mean, I'll do both. Yes, I want to go. That's where I was gonna go last year was Portugal, Ravania, to this cooking, like a cooking tour of Portugal for a week. Couldn't do that either because COVID. All my shit got canceled. Yeah, but and I was gonna go by myself. I don't have no problem traveling anywhere on this planet by myself. Probably would go to the moon by myself too if I could figure out how to do it. But it's like I don't let anything stop me from doing what I want to do. I've been all over this country in international travel by myself. And you always meet people when you go places, so it's not like a problem because there always be some group of women, and they'd be like, "Oh, are you by yourself? Come on and join us." And so there you go. So then you have like instant new friends while you're on your trip. It happens every time, so I never worry about it. But in this particular thing, she's right to break up with you because you're not on her level, you're not on her league. Question number 19, female 22 to 29, Rockford, Illinois. I am in my late 20s and recently got a new job. I love it. However, since I accepted it, my mother has started demanding to have my boss's personal number in case I, quote, go missing. As I'm nearly 30, this is ridiculous and very controlling. What? To clarify, I currently live with my mother for financial reasons due to a previous job loss over COVID. I explained to her that this is an unreasonable request as it would be a serious privacy and confidentiality issue. Not to mention what message it may send to my new employers for her to ask for a personal number for my mama. I told her it was pointless anyway, as we all leave the office at the same time, so no one would know if I had an accident on the way home anyway. However, my mother thinks I'm the one being unreasonable and is now refusing to talk to me and getting angry when I try to explain that breaching my boss's privacy can and will get me fired. Maybe that's what she wants. I do feel extremely bad about saying no. Why? As my mother recently suffered a mini stroke and has caused her to become somewhat overbearing, more than normal, and to have some memory issues. She claims she would never actually use the number, but I think asking for my boss's number to give to my mother is both ridiculous and invasive. This is definitely a what would Deb do question, so I'm asking for your input. I would do just what you're doing, but it would be more firm. Because then she would be like, I want her boss's number, and I would say, hell no, you're not getting it. I don't even have it. So what the fuck? What's wrong with you? That you think that me at 30 years old to be saying, oh, can you give me your number for my mommy? Do you know what a fool I will look like at my job? No sign of respect there. And you going to try to set me up like that to fail? We're not going to do that, mama. You're not going to have his number. You have my cell phone number. That's all you need. You're not going to get anything else from anybody at my job. And then she going to keep asking and just keep saying no. Put it on a little sign, so it's a little sign, it's on a little stick, you got the little sign, and then you just hold it up, and it's going to say, I will not get that phone number. Or just say, no, not happening. Don't ask me, on a little stick. So you just hold it up. That's what you need to do to her so she can understand. Because sometimes, with parents, you just can't use just words. You need them audio visual aids. Shh. No, 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 no. I'm just saying, 'cause she don't seem like she want to understand it. Can you imagine? I want your boss's number. Like like she calling the teacher and you in the fourth grade. Oh my goodness. I cannot imagine. This is crazy. Question 20. Every time, when I think I've heard it all, something new comes across my desk. Female 30 to 39 from Sheffield in the UK. I just started dating someone a few weeks ago from online. Mm. We both live alone, so have formed a bubble of sorts. We've been seeing each other around 3 times a week. The dates have ranged from going on walks, dinner together, watching movies, getting takeout, etc. I've really enjoyed his company, and he says the same. We took things at a nice pace, kissing on a few dates, which eventually built up to eggplant last week. The eggplant was amazing. Sparks were flying, and both of us said we really enjoyed ourselves. Really? I'm so jealous. Since then, though, he has brought up something eggplant related every single day in text. Things like, I can't wait to do X again, or I want to do X, Y, and Z with you. I love you to sleep over next time and wake up with you. We are still having normal conversations about regular life daily, but he has brought that up every day in some form since. He's a real gentleman in person and hasn't pushed or pressured me or made me feel uncomfortable at all. And the eggplant was pretty amazing, I must say. I am not sure if I'm just being overly sensitive because I have been in an abusive relationship in the past or if this is a red flag. Hmm. Well, dude is excited because, like you said it was amazing, and then now you said it was pretty amazing. You said that twice. Okay, in 3 paragraphs, you described this shit as amazing 2 times. So I'm thinking if he has a similar experience, of course he can't wait to do it again. Are you crazy? I mean, everybody would be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. What we gonna do? Let's have round two. So, and then he's trying to see, he wants you to spend the night so he could take his time and, just make the deal even sweeter. And then, in the morning, oh hi, this and that, and just have like this whole big romantic, evening of it, and next day too. So I don't know that it's really a red flag in that sense because everything you describe about the guy, everything else is really good. This is the only thing he's doing that you're not really that comfortable with. So that means that all you have to do is open your mouth and say, it was totally amazing to me too. It was great, and that definitely is on my agenda for a repeat performance. But can I make a request? And he'll be sure, darling, whatever. It's like, can you maybe like not mention it every single time we talk? Because it's making me feel a little uncomfortable, like, that's like your main focus or something. And I really was hoping that we would have something that was more meaningful outside of that wonderful thing, that we would have other things about our relationship that are wonderful too. Something like that. And so then he'd be like, "Oh my God, yes, of course. That's why I want you to spend the night. So, we can have it can be wonderful and I can make breakfast for you and this. I'm sure he'll have some explanation. But he's not a mind reader. So if it's bothering you, it's up to you to express it. But I think everything else sounds pretty good so far. I mean, it's like, you guys are on the right page and you're in the 30 to 39 age group, so it's not like you're a little kid. Okay, so open your mouth, tell the guy, how you feel, ask him for his cooperation, and I'm sure you'll get it. It's not a problem, and just enjoy this amazing eggplant that you have because you know how hard that is to find. Most of the time, after the woman, you do it, you be like, your friends get together, girl, how was it? Girl, was it good? Because we be like, we want all the tea, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't try to act like I'm the only one. You want all the tea, be like a, let me patch in Sherry. And no, wait, let me get Angie on the phone too. And oh, Renee got to be on the line too. So here it is, 6, 7 women on the phone, and everybody waiting to hear about this amazing eggplant. And then here you go. Girl, I hate to tell you, But that shit was so raggedy. It was over in less than a minute. And he had the nerve to be thinking he had hit something and that he was like doing the do. And you gonna hear all these women go, "What? No. Ah, this kind of stuff. The major disappointment all through the phone line, everybody disappointment. And, all worked up and got their wine and stuff ready for nothing. Thinking they're gonna be sitting there with their legs crossed hearing all kinds of tea and don't get to hear nothing except for some disappointment and sorrow. So it's like I just like it's true. Come on now, we all been there. We've all been there. And it's funny, you get to laugh, but it's very disappointing when dudes be coming off like they this major coxswain of life and then shit don't be happening. You be mad. So then everybody gets to talking about all the dudes that they did it with that just didn't hit on nothing. And at least you get, I've never seen a group of women get together and it's not be fun. So, then everybody gonna start pulling out they stories about the 1 minute man, 3 minute man, the man who was like microscopic after he lied and said he was packing, all kind of stories that we could all share. And so it's true. Don't be trying to act like you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, just tell them that you'll be all right. Question number 21. This is a male in the 40 to 49 age group from Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm a 45-year-old male. I have a teenage child from a previous relationship. The mom and I split up when the kid was 2. I've always wanted to be a daily involved father and had set my mind on having more kids with someone while married and in a committed long-term relationship. I've always told myself if I hadn't met anyone I think I could have a child with by the time I turned 45, that I'd give up. My main reason for thinking that was I didn't want to be in my 60s with a teenager. At that age, I feel I should be slowing down a lot, living life more on my terms. Said I'd either end up with a woman with a child from a previous relationship or adopt an older child. However, I turned 45 last month. That means you're an Aquarius, huh? And still feel the pull to be a new dad. The situation is complicated by the fact that one of my closest female friends, she's 39, with a child from a previous relationship, recently admitted to me that she likes me as more than a friend. We dated briefly about 5 years ago, but it didn't really work out, but we just stayed friends. We've gotten really close and been there for each other a lot over the past few years. This woman is great on paper. We're different but complementary. I think she's fine as hell. She's funny, very responsible and trustworthy, smart with just the right amount of irreverence. The only issue is that she is adamant, as always has been, that she doesn't want any more children. That's not changing. She also knows about my wish for more kids, and I'm still not sure what I want to do. I guess my question is basically at what point do I stop trying to have another child? That desire eliminates some really good women from my dating pool, so I need to know. Is my desire to have another child holding me back from romance? What do you think with your 45-year-old grandpa ass? Let's just say, okay, you 45 now, so you met somebody, you got pregnant. So as soon as you would have your father, the kid would be come popping out. You would be 46 years old. Okay, so you add 20 years to that, 22 years to that, and that's when the kid would probably be graduating college. So now you already way in grandpa age, you like way past grandpa age, and your kid just now getting out of college, don't have no job, is not about to get married. So you looking at another 5, 10 years before your kid had. Oh, dude, stop this! You are too fucking old. Yeah, it's nothing worse than you go. You know what? Because we used to have my daughter, right? Everybody, the oldest. I was like one of the oldest parents, because I had her. And but these people had, their kids like in their late teens, early 20s and stuff. I was still traveling around and doing my thing. I wasn't trying to be thinking about nothing like that. So, I was one of the oldest parents with a young kid. And I'm just in my 30s, but these people like in their 20s. And so you can think about you going to be at your child's school. So your child, you have the baby at 46, so you're going to be 51 years old when your kid starts kindergarten. When your kid graduates from high school, you're going to be in your 60s. People are going to look at you and they're going to say, oh, look, your grandpa's come to school to see you. And then your kid's going to be embarrassed because your kid's going to say, that's not my grandpa, that's my dad. And then you're going to be sitting there all gray-headed and gray-bearded and looking stupid and trying to figure out why, everybody's laughing at your kid with your old ass. Don't do this to your kid. Don't do this to yourself. You're too old. You can't play with them like you used to. Get out there and hoop and all that kind of stuff like you could do when you was in your 20s and 30s. You should have thought about all this and had got yourself serious and together. You men always want to play around and fuck around until you get old and have broke down and then start talking about you want to be somebody's daddy. The time for that is past, son. Okay? 45 years old is too old to be thinking about having an infant. That's too old. Stop this. Now you want to settle, you like this lady, this other lady and stuff, then get with her. Enjoy the rest of your life. Travel, do stuff with yourself. She got a kid that's older. How old is her kid? Let me see. I'm sure you said. Uh, she has a child from a previous age. Okay, well, you don't say how old her kid is. But they'll raise that kid. You be fine. You get your daddy in out. If y'all live together, you'll be that father that you talked about that's there every day. Okay? This is ridiculous. Your son's friends think you his girlfriend. Oh no. Yeah, this is too much. I just can't stand these old ass parents having kids. A bunch of them in the Berkeley, Berkeley, you go to a restaurant, right? And they all in there with their little toddlers, right? Every one of them motherfuckers' hair just as gray as times of 29 and sitting around a table looking like they need to be at somebody's retirement home with these little brats running around. And they too old and tired to go chase after them. And they don't want to correct them because they're old and tired, right? So here go the young parents, mainly me, tell her to go sit your little ass down. Don't be running around the restaurant like that. We had that problem at the little Shin Shin, and you know that restaurant in Oakland. I used to go there all the time. There's this big round table with all these old ass people in there, sitting these little kids running around, running up and down the aisle and stuff. And so I stopped that little boy and his little girl. I told them, "Stop, sit their little asses down and serving all the patrons." And so this bitch gonna come over to me. Don't be talking to my child like that, bitch. I'll talk to you like that too. I paid a lot of money for my food and I want to enjoy my time here. Your brats are fucking it up. Get your kids, you all finished eating, get your kids to get the fuck out. You know how to give a damn? See, you're gonna try to tell me some stuff like that. See, now I'm going to show all my Oakland. And I'm gonna add my Fillmore in there too. Because I've been in both places too long. Instead of they're gonna be trying to call herself correcting me. Correct your fucking kid. Running around disturbing everybody. So when they just she's all huffy and she gonna leave and be all huffy and then the restaurant the little dude was so happy that they gave us our food for free. That's right. I used to go there all the time now. What age is too late to have a kid? Anytime that your kid is gonna be graduating from high school and you gonna be in the range to retire. Okay? Because you can retire at 60, 62, some jobs 55. Yeah, I'm with you, Arlie. Especially, I mean, that restaurant was not cheap. Little they should be pricey. Not like them little corner hood Chinese store. Restaurant. This some shit where you gonna be laying out some cash. And I saved my little coins. My daughter was small so then still, but she knew how to go in the restaurant and eat and sit her little ass at the table and eat like she had some sense. She used the little chopsticks and everything. But your kids will act the way that you train them to act, the way that you teach them. These little kids weren't too much younger than maybe I don't know, probably maybe 2 years younger than her. But the difference in maturity and the way that they behaved was just remarkable. And I would never, she tried to run around the restaurant like that, I would snatch her ass and beat the shit out of her. You're not going to act like that. You're going to sit your ass at this table and you're going to eat your food. And that's how I was at home. And that's how she already knew what the drill was. But these are like they're in the playground. It was unbelievable. Yeah, men think they have forever, so but then they be having them old looking babies. The babies looking like Benjamin Buttons, and then they have the babies be all defective and deformed, and them old babies that look all dried up. Them babies be looking like old men look when they come out, and you be looking at the baby. It's like people who have young babies have the young baby be all plump and fresh, looking little rosy cheeks and whatnot, and them babies, but them old men be all and dried up and have like lines on their forehead and stuff. They look wrinkly. That is not something. No, don't do that to your kid. Don't do that to your child. You know I'm right. And then the babies be all defective and stuff, have all kind of problems, and they want to be trying to blame it on the mama. No, that's you. The kid is that your sperm is old. You seen them babies in them old pictures, them old ass looking babies. Babies look like they about 150 years old and just be newborn. No. Question number 22. This is our bonus question, she says. This was not sent in as an advice question, but was included in the comment section of one of your surveys. I pulled it out for you to respond to. See. Okay, let's see what this is. Hi, Deborah Cooper. I'm a really big fan of yours on YouTube. As a young female, I just feel like you're really inspiring me a lot to be better. Good. I have a situation I don't know how to go about handling it, especially now in current society. I have a friend who recently came out trans woman, and I fear that her ideology of becoming a woman is playing dress up. Also, his gay friend that has the same ideology to this really scares me because I feel like they think being a woman is playing dress up when it's much more than that. And I find it very disrespectful, especially when she called me a cis woman, a term from a transgender woman to give a biological woman. I do not feel comfortable after that, and I feel very disrespected. I really don't know what to do, and I would like your help handling the situation. Oh, get rid of both of them tripped out, fucked up motherfuckers. Okay, first of all, everybody knowing this, I don't believe in trans nothing. You a man, you a woman, you was born that way and you gonna die that way, and that's what you are in between. Okay, everybody cutting their bodies up and taking all these hormones and all this shit. It's not changing anything. It's just playing into your mental illness. See it shrink. That's what you need to do. Now, as far as these friends of yours, they're not your friends. First of all, the one thing they want is for you to ask them how they want to be addressed, right? What pronouns they want. I'm a she, I'm this and that. And you writing this and referring to this fucker as a she is insulting me. It's disrespecting me. I don't like to. Don't you ever write me talking about some trans people and a man in a dress and refer to him as a she. Don't you ever, ever do that. This shit here is pissing me off. That's number one. Number two, they also don't get to decide what to call you. Okay, this cis shit, I rebuke that. You don't get to decide what I am. I'm a woman and you just some wannabe. You a pretend. You out a box of Cracker Jacks. You ain't shit compared to me. You can't have no kids. You don't have a menstrual cycle. You don't have no titties that can give milk. You don't have shit. You just sitting up there a caricature of a woman. That's what you are. And that's what your friends are. And they're sitting up there labeling you and calling you, disrespecting you, calling you sis. That's exactly what that was. You're supposed to correct them and say, no, you're a dude in a dress. I'm a woman. And you don't get to label me and decide what I am, motherfucker. I'm a woman and you're not. And that's the way it's going to always be. I don't care what kind of clothes you put on, what wig you put on, what makeup you put on, how you disfigure yourself with surgery. It's never going to change the fact that you're a man. Okay? That's what you were supposed to tell his ass, both of them. Now, as far as you calling them your friends, get rid of them. Tell them you don't want to talk to them anymore. To go in there and live their fantasies of their autogynephilia, because that's all it is. Men who get sexually turned on by imagining themselves to be women. That's what this is. If you don't believe me, look it up on on the internet. There's articles about it. It's in the DSM. It's all kind of stuff. Mental illness is straight crazy fools. And you read about them and how they turn themselves on dressing like women. That's all it is. But now it used to be called a trans cross-dresser, but now they want to label themselves trans and have all this power and all this old shit. They still the same fucked up individuals they were walking around in women's clothes. Okay? Now, I know a lot of people not going to want to hear that because of the political climate. They say, well, that's wrong. You know, you can't say that. You're misgendering me. I don't give a fuck. Whatever your mental illness is, it makes you think that you like me. Motherfucker, you're not. You're not, and you're never going to be. You want to be. You dream about being it, but it's never going to happen. Okay? Now, I hope I make myself clear. This is the wrong spot to come to if you in favor of that shit. Because I'm never, ever, ever going to co-sign on that. I'm never going to call a man she or her and nothing like that. It was the last job I had. They was trying to make us do that shit. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. And they're like, well, if they want you to, I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't give a fuck what you say. Well, you know, you could get written up. Do it. Because if I'm calling a man with a beard, 6 feet tall, with all that shit, nuts and a dick, her and she, who am I then? So I'm her and she too? Are we alike? Do you know how delusional, retarded that is? That you're trying to shove this down people's throats and make people buy into this nonsense like that story, The Emperor's New Clothes? where everybody pretends like what they're looking at is the emperor in a grand outfit, but really he was naked. It's the same shit. Everybody's trying to pretend like they're seeing something that's not there. If you are not familiar with that story, read that story. It's called The Emperor's New Clothes. It's a kid's story, but it is very similar to what's going on in our society right now, where everybody is pretending that they are buying into this and that they're seeing something because someone has said that that's what it is, and that's not what's there. It took a kid to call it out. It's a very interesting book. I don't care if they ready, Jennifer, or not. Because, my thing is, there's a lot of people that come to this channel that's not ready to hear what I say about a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you're an original thinker and you have a mouth and you don't give a fuck. That's a bad combination. It's a trifecta of I don't care. Okay, I care about what I think and what I say. And, quiet as it's kept, it's millions and millions of people that believe exactly like as I do. But, the difference between them and me is that I'm not afraid to say what I think, and they are. That's the only difference. But, the majority of people, it's called The Emperor's New Clothes. It's a children's book. You can probably find a copy of it online, but it's exactly the same thing. Just wait till you read it, and you will see what I'm talking about. The scam that was run on those people to make them think that the emperor had this grand new wardrobe that really didn't exist. It wasn't there. It was invisible. Okay, you'll see the parallels when you read the story. The Emperor's New Clothes. Thanks, Butterfly. There was a movie. What? I didn't know that. Yeah, my daughter's plenty old now. It's a story I used to read to her. Yeah, and they had this shit where they want to call babies babies, and they don't want pregnant women. We can't say pregnant women. We have to say pregnant person. No, bitch, I'm going to say pregnant woman. Okay, because your dick ain't having ass is not ever going to get pregnant. And the only people who get pregnant are women. And so, therefore, we're going to say pregnant women, and you don't like it too fucking bad. You're going to get over it. Either that or die trying. Either one, I don't care. But the only people on this planet who get pregnant that's humans are women. Even the ones that try to convert to men and then get pregnant and say, "Oh, this man gave birth." And that was a bitch. That was a dumbass bitch just sitting up here trying to pretend that she's a man. Her ass still got her uterus, and that's how she was able to have a baby. So anyway, that's what I got to say. This last letter pissed me off. She should have put this first, so I would have had some stuff to laugh about in the afterwards. Yeah, you guys read that book or check it out, and then we can post about it on the community wall and tell me what you. I'll start a thread, and you can tell me what you think. Oh yeah, they just doing the most, just trying to make people buy into their fucking fantasy, and make them feel like they all a woman and all this acceptance and shit. You can kiss my inside of my ass. You'll never be a woman, never, 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 never. And they get so mad when you say that. Even a woman who try to be men. This one chick, she was fighting with me about it on Facebook. But I'm a man, bitch. Your ass don't have a dick and sperm. Get out of here. You still got your uterus and ovaries, and that makes you a girl. And she's like, no, I'm a man. I said, well, guess what? If you die, you get abducted and killed and murdered, and they find your bones, and they're going to dig up your skeleton, you know what they're going to say on the autopsy report? Oh, we found the bodies of a dead female. And the bones of a dead female. And she was so mad, she clicked off and blocked me. Well, don't say stuff like that, Mary Elizabeth, because that's one thing that they've been trying to do, and that's some women been getting their uteruses cut out, and I'm suspicious that's what's already going on. They're already trying to do that. Kids and men, but it's a stupid waste of time because you don't have the hormones and you don't have the other equipment to sustain a pregnancy. You idiots! It requires more than just having the uterus. The uterus has to be functional, and it functions in concert with other parts that belong to women that are so stupid they don't even know human biology. That's why they say that there's no gender. There's no one gender. We're all the same. No, you're dumb. But anyway, that's the show for today. I get off of my soapbox now. And this is really a political, awful thing, but it is what it is. And we will, I'll catch up to you.